Hey there, how's everyone doing? I'm Simon, you're with me today, and today we've got a tier list, as you can see. So this is going to be for September for all the movies that I've watched. It's going to be 15 movies. A few things you have to know about me ranking these. I will never rank anything a D or F if I feel like they put effort into the movie, if they cared about it. If I feel like the movie was just thrown together or like it was just a cash grab, I will give it a D or an F. So, let's get right into it. All right, so first up we have Nandor Fodor and the Talking Mongoose. This was a very strange movie. I put it in B tier. The movie was very good, except for the pacing was slow. It's a very interesting movie. All the dialogue feels like it's straight from a video game NPC, which I loved. I thought it was really funny, but the pacing was very, very slow, and I felt like a little janky in some places. So B tier, worth watching, maybe out of theaters. Next up, we're gonna go with Haunting in Venice. That one I'm gonna give a A. This was a very good movie. I get spooked pretty easily, but I felt like this movie did a good job of spooking me, but by the end of the movie making it so I wasn't scared for the entire next week and a half, so that's good. I felt like it was a really smart movie. It had a good ending, all that good stuff. So A tier. S tier I'm going to reserve for the very best, like, amazing movies. Next up, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. That's going to be A tier. I really liked this movie. It was really cute. It had great characters. The story was awesome, just amazing. The acting was great, even though it was teenage actors, so, you know. There were a few problems I had, but they're teenagers. It can be excused. Oh boy. This next one is my favorite. Camp Hideout goes right in F. This movie was brutal to watch. Every moment of it I just hated. Don't watch this movie, please. Ever. It's not good. Next up after that, Dumb Money. That one is going to be A tier. I really like this movie. I felt like it was really good. They had not the most interesting source material, to me at least. It was just really good when I was watching it. I really enjoyed it. So that was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I really liked that. It's not quite S tier because I did feel like it slowed down in a few parts, and I didn't totally enjoy the source material. Some people might like it even more than I did, but A tier, still very good. Alright, next up we have my actual favorite for the month. It is honestly amazing. I loved it. Flora and Son. It's going in S tier. The music is so good. I love the characters. I love everything about it. The story is so good. It's amazing. The acting is so good. I just feel like it's peak. Definitely watch this. I think it's on Apple TV Plus, so if you have that, but this is a must watch. Alright, next one, It Lives Inside. This one's confusing. I'm gonna say, if you watched The Boogeyman, came out earlier this year, this is pretty much like a shot-for-shot remake of that movie, but better. So, I mean, if you've already seen The Boogeyman, maybe don't bother with this one, but it is a good movie. I gave it an A tier. It was scary, it was cool, it was interesting. So, I'll say that. The characters are great, the pacing's great. It's worth it if you haven't seen Boogeyman. If you have, don't bother. Muzzle is the next one. It's going in C. This one is confusing. I don't know how to feel about this one. It is slow-paced. Honestly, if you're really into police and K9, you might go for this one, but otherwise, probably not. I was not very intrigued. It was a little slow. Next up, Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. This one is also going in C. Let's just say it is not as good as the first two. Not nearly. I watched 3 movies to see this one movie, and the second one was obviously the best. It was the funniest. It's a rom-com, so it's supposed to be funny. But 3 was just kind of slow, kept going. If you watched the first 2 already, maybe watch it once it's out of theaters, but I wouldn't recommend watching it, especially not watching 2 movies and then this one. Outlaw Johnny Black. I didn't know how to feel about this one. It was a very, interesting style of comedy. I'm putting it in B tier. It's very, satirical type comedy, and it was very confusing for me for a lot of it. Especially, I didn't know anything going into this movie, and it didn't very well establish that it was, a funny movie. So I was just confused. Honestly, going into this knowing it's, satire and stuff is probably what you want to do. You want to have some prior knowledge about it, but it's a good movie. Honestly, debating A or B tier for a while. I just put it in B because it was a little bit long. It was kind of slow. I think it's 2.5 hours plus previews 3 hours, so it's It's a long movie. If you have a long attention span and you're interested in this, go for it. Honestly, it was pretty good. This is the higher of the two in the B tier right now. This is the most confusing one for me. Socks. This was just a wild ride. I think I'm putting this in A. It's either A or B tier. It's brutal. That's the point of the movie, I guess. So I've heard that it's a better one. I only watched 10. I watched the first part of 1 and then 10. It's worth watching if you like those movies. If you're not interested in those movies, then you can skip it. It is A if you like, Saw, B if you don't. Okay, we'll go with that. Creator, this is the highest of the A tiers. I was going to put it in S tier, but I just decided there were certain things I didn't totally enjoy. I felt like some of the characters weren't super well fleshed out. Pacing was a little bit slow. It is a bit of a longer movie. So all together brought it down to A tier, but it is the highest of the A tiers, highest esteem held in my brain. I loved this movie. The aesthetic was so cool. It just had such an interesting vibe about it. I have filmed a video on it. It's going to be my first solo review, and I'm hoping to get that out within a week. But this movie is really good. I highly recommend seeing it. We got 3 more. Inventor, I put in, I believe, C tier. B tier, sorry. It's a very stylistic movie. They used puppets and stuff, so it's honestly looks really cool. You could tell they put a ton of effort into it. That's why it's a B instead of a C, just because they put so much effort into it, and I could tell they put so much heart into it that I will not give it a C, because that's honestly, it was a good movie, but it's some half musical type thing, but all the music is bad. So it's maybe if they spent a little bit more time writing their songs, I would have liked it more, because a musical, I would like to have good music. So just that. Other than that, pretty good movie. There were a couple things that confused me. This is about Leonardo da Vinci, and one of the guys says something about Picasso, and I was like, hold on just a second. Can he tell the future? Picasso wasn't alive. Anyway, very confusing. It's worth a watch outside of theaters. Just if you have your 2 hours and you don't care about having good music in your movie, then go for it. Next is gonna be The Kill Room. That one, C tier. I felt like it was more about having big actors in it than having a good story, and I felt like they didn't put as much effort into it as they could have. It was kind of confusing, it was a bit of a mess. I didn't totally like it. I didn't totally like the whole aesthetic of it, the idea. It was just a little bit too much for me. Honestly, this is probably more of a D tier. Not worth watching, especially in theaters, paying for it. Last one, The Origin of Evil. I'm putting that in S. That's our second S tier. I really like this one. It was so interesting. I love villain stories, and this is just such an interesting story. I loved it. It was so cool. You start out with your character and you think that she's just good, and you start learning more about her, and it's really interesting. Try not to spoil it all for you, but I just loved the movie. The ending just made me smile so much. That's one that you should check out, and that is going to be it for the tier list. This month was pretty good. I've been excited for Dumb Money for Creator, and I was pleasantly surprised by Flora and Son. I didn't know The Origin of Evil existed, so I was surprised by that. Flora and Son, I just went to the theater thinking it'd be a movie, and honestly was amazing. I love just the music in it. It's music that I will listen to outside of just the movie, which is something that I think is great. I think if you have actually good music and a good movie, instead of a movie that's good, but it also has movie music, I guess, it's but that's it for this month. You can like and subscribe if you want. This is my first tier list, so tell me what I did good, what I did bad, what I should improve on, and hopefully I'm going to try to do this for November and December for just a monthly tier list, and then at the end of the year I'm going to make a master tier list with the whole year. So you can subscribe if you want to get notified when that happens, but other than that, Comment what you thought about any of these movies. Did you agree with me? Did you not agree with me? And thank you for watching.